We're in wine. If
We're in
we,
wine. It's really nothing wrong. I think, yeah, there's only one event that I would even think that something may have happened at, but even that event,
what, LA Wine Fest?
nah, it's another. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to put no dirt on any name or nothing like that. But it's a rowdy event,
Hmm.
and it's lively and it's very urban and everything, and anybody can get in there. And I love the event. It was great. I enjoyed myself,
I
but I
just,
can see something
hmm
happening
I,
in the
I
future.
went to one recently and I was invited,
Hmm.
and Kiana was laughing at me. I mean, we got there early, so that was the good part. But as the evening
Progressed,
progressed,
yeah.
I went, oh no.
Yeah, it starts to change, and then it's a monthly event. So, but
I think we're talking about
yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and it is not my cup of tea.
I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed myself. It reminded me of when I was bouncing in the clubs. Like it reminded me of that. But again, it's like I can see in the future, inevitably something's gonna happen
Oh,
there
for
one day.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm just like, mm, I could do the day.
Hmm.
But as people started
She said,
drinking,
"Let the street lights come on."
I said, ooh, that is my cue to go home. I am a streetlight kid. So, yes. No, I'm with you on that. I think we got the cue that we can go back to the rapid fire. We good, producer? Okay.
Oh, okay,
Okay. So we're gonna keep going.
for sure.
What's a book or movie that has significant impact on you?
Ooh, oh, the Bible, but that's the easy answer. Um, There's a few movies that really had a significant impact on me. I think the first time, and really, I think I've only watched it twice because it actually had that much of an impact on me. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I was going through some things and everything like that, and I had my kids, and just to see his determination to make things happen for his son, despite everything working against him in that moment, it was very touching to me. It actually made it. It was so touching that I could not watch the movie twice for a very long time. I actually bought
Right.
the DVD and everything, couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. That one, I'm like, oh god, it's such a tearjerker.
yeah,
But if it's on TV, and no matter where I catch the movie, I'm watching it.
I might run from it. Honestly, I don't want. I don't want.
Really?
I'm a man. I'm not supposed to cry like that.
You know what? We are in
It's all
2024.
right.
It
No,
is
yeah, it's
okay.
okay for me to cry. Y'all don't take me at my word on that.
No, I tell people all the time, like, it's sometimes I tell my son, I'm like, okay, are you done? Did you get it out? Because it's a sometimes you feel a lot better if you cry. Like
Yeah.
me, I'm an emotional thug.
Mm-hmm. An
I'm a
emotional
cry a
thug.
little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but then when I come back, it's like, okay, cool, let's keep the party going.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all I need is to cry real quick.
No, I think everybody needs those moments and those be willing to have those moments with yourself to really just
Mm-hmm.
go through life
Yeah,
because we all have something that bothers us and we can act tough if we want to, but it's only going to make the problem
man,
worse. So,
seriously. Do you have any hidden talents?
um, I used to think I could sing really good. I mean, but that may have changed. Yeah, um, I dabble with music. Like I said, I like music, so I dabble with music, and it's both probably in
Let
that
me
corner.
find out you got a full album somewhere.
There's albums out there that have me on it singing. I'm just saying. You're not gonna
Can we
find
get
it.
a little taste
You're
here?
not gonna find it, huh?
Can we get a little
Oh,
taste
you
here?
got it right there. It's the Longmire Cellars 2020 Tempranillo out of Monterey County, California.
He said, I am not singing on your live.
Nope, not at all. I don't want to risk it. My son said, he said I don't sound the same. So,
Last question.
mm,
What's a fun fact that not many people know?
ooh, a fun fact about me that not many people know: I'm a fun guy. Not many people know that. Nah, fun fact about me um, that I've had over at least over 25 cars in my lifetime.
Really?
Yes, I
Hmm.
didn't I didn't do right with all of them, but I've gone through a lot of cars,
Wow.
really bad.
That's interesting. lot of cars.
It is a lot of cars, and when I sat back and I really thought about it one day, I'm like, man, what am I doing? I've gone through several cars. Like I liked something in the moment, and then 2 weeks later, something else came out, and I wanted that. And I used to kind of collect older cars, fix them up, and stuff like that. So always been a car guy.
Okay.
Favorite car is still Pontiac Trans Am, so Firebird.
Okay.
Yep.
Look at that. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in wine?
I tell people all the time it really came down to three different things. It started with my mother. I tell
Hmm.
people all the time, please do not judge my mama. Um, when I was a kid, I had to be about 2 or 3. That U2 song "Red Red Wine" was on. I was in
Mm,
the pool, and as it's playing "Red Red Wine," that song is on. She gave me a sip of whatever was in her cup. To me, it tasted like wine, and I believed it was wine. And to this day, I still believe it was wine because it wasn't like a juice.
mhm.
And from that moment, I always remembered that taste. And so whenever I did taste wine, I was always looking for that taste. And that some there's, I've gone out with friends and they ask me, so why did you order that wine? You're a wine guy. You ordered this wine that isn't very um, prestigious. And I'm like, well, for me, it's a nostalgic thing. It kind of reminds me of that same wine.
Mhm.
The second thing that brought me into wine is I wanted to have something that brought people together, as my grandmother did. That's why she's on the label. She represents bringing together family, community, and friends. Um, so I wanted to have something that I can do, a business that I can do and understand, where I won't lose money. And if I do end up stuck somehow, at least I
Right.
have a ton of wine I'm going to enjoy. Um, but that was one of the things she brought together family, friend, communities. Without her, I would not know half of my hundred some odd cousins. She had 10 kids.
Oh.
There was a lot of multiplying. So the third one was everything is seasonal, and there was a season
Mhm.
where I was had my nose wide open, as the old folk would say.
Mhm.
Did a little bit of wine tasting, and then one day the wine opened up for me. I was able to taste the different notes. I was able to smell the different aromas, and at that point, I was like, wine is definitely something I'm more interested in because it's
Mhm.
not just juice. It's not just I'm drinking wine.
Right.
It's a grape that gives you, like this one, notes of plum, vanilla, black cherry, chocolate, and it's like it's all in there. Once you learn how to search for it and taste it, it really opens up your mind and says, you know what, there's something more to this wine. I see why some people are like wine snobs,
Oh
like
yeah,
they're real serious about their wine.
for sure.
I'd love to get to the point to where I can taste a wine and say, you know what, this is from this region. It is this year. It is probably from this maker.
Right. I that's my goal.
It takes a lot of tasting.
So I've got a mentor
Hmm.
now in wine, and he's like, do this, do that. And I said, okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the encouragement is what.
You need encouragement. Are you talking about for me? I was about to say,
No,
do you
I'm
need
saying for me.
encouragement to drink wine with you?
Well,
I
not
mean,
just to drink it, to really learn it.
uh-huh. I did go through all the steps to become a sommelier, but then when it came down to like the regional stuff,
Hmm.
I was like, do I really need to know what region it's from? I need to know that it's good. Like, it's Bordeaux, it's France, all that. Like, certain things,
Exactly.
champagne is not going to be made in America.
No.
We have sparkling, but but other than that, it's like I didn't care for the regional part. I'll probably still go back and do it just because it'll be cool to have that attached
Of
to me as well.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one 100%. Uh, can you share a pivotal moment in your journey that shaped your path?
Um, gonna name drop, I guess, a little bit.
Name drop.
There was a so my first when I first said I was gonna do wine, I ended up going to a wine event here in LA at Union Station. Forgot that it was the Uncorked event at Union Station,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I met Kiana from Generational Wealths.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't know it at that time, and I don't know if she knew it at that time, that we would actually build a bond. We both said we're going to start our own wine business. We both had nothing happening at that time. We were just there to enjoy ourselves at the festival. Come back a year later, and here we are constantly having business ventures together and growing together in wine. I think that was a pivotal uh, person for me to meet because it allowed me to stay in and through some of the ups and downs, and I'm sure along the way I've helped her as well.
Oh, for sure. You
Yeah.
guys are, I want to say our group
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely amazing and
Mm-hmm.
supportive on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
and she is such an amazing person
Hmm.
to have in your corner.
Yes, definitely, and a wealth of information. She got ahead of me, and anytime I have a question or something, she's always there to help me out with that. So that's definitely a pivotal relationship that started with wine.
Hmm.
Another moment was realizing that the wine that I have, I knew I liked it, but I was worried that other people wouldn't like it. And to see the response, it just
Right.
built my confidence, and allowed me to know, hey, you know what? You can trust your palate first off because it's styled to my liking, but it's also something other people will enjoy.
I'm enjoying it. That's for sure. What was your initial vision for your
My
wine?
initial vision, man, I had lofty visions. Like I was like, I'm gonna have a winery, I'm gonna have a big vineyard, I'm gonna move out to Paso Robles, and I'm gonna have just acres and acres of wine. And then I found out that, for where I wanted to be, I couldn't even get the license to do all that. So yeah,
Wow.
they have restrictions. You have to work in your sector or a sector
Hmm.
particularly, and it definitely dampened my big goals, but it also brought me down to a reality and saying, hey, you know what? You actually should focus on this one thing as opposed to trying to monopolize the whole market.
Definitely. Definitely. Isn't it crazy how life humbles you?
Yes, 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 definitely.
I love that. How did you select the grapes?
So I went out and I had a tasting, started with tasting the fruit. And really, it started before that.
Hmm.
As the ideal came to my mind, I had a Tempranillo that was from 2010,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what let me know that I wanted Tempranillo. I started searching for it. I was initially going to try to import some Tempranillo, and then I found some in California. So I said, you know what? Called them up. They said, yeah, we have some. You can come out and taste it. And I said, you know what? They were going to ship it to me. I'm like, no, I'm coming. I'm on my way. So I ran out there and I tasted it. I tasted a couple of other things that they had that was already in barrel, and
Hmm.
that was phenomenal as well. But the Tempranillo was where I knew I wanted to start. It was when I first tasted it. It was my definitely my favorite wine, and still to this day, especially this one, it's still my favorite wine. So
I love that. I love that. What have been some of the biggest challenges?
um, some of the biggest challenges is just really learning how to work with other companies because
Mm,
different companies work under a different structure,
right.
and sometimes that structure doesn't seem to be as conducive. Or and it's just sometimes there's a battle there, but other than that, I think the only other challenge would have been just with myself, um, believing that the market would accept me,
Hmm.
and everywhere I go it's just been a welcome reception.
Right.
So I think that, now that I've gotten out of my own head a little bit, I think that flourishing is going to just come naturally.
I think that's always the biggest thing is
Hmm.
getting out of your own head.
Hmm.
And even with me doing this,
Hmm.
I'm 2 years in, and it took me a good 4 years to get to here
Hmm.
because I'm like, what if they judge me? What if they don't like me? Okay, but what if they don't?
Yeah. Like what I learned. So I've had a few businesses, and what I've learned is just starting the business is always the hardest part. Everything
Mm-hmm.
else you'll learn, or it'll just come to you along the way. I know people who say been telling me they're going to start their business for like 13 years now, and I'm
Right.
like, start. Like today's the day.
That's the
Um,
hardest part is just starting.
hmm Can you cuss on your channel? I don't know.
Yes, you
Okay,
can
yeah.
curse.
So this one of my business ventures led me to a guy who he basically bought the returns from Walmart, Home Depot,
Mm-hmm.
and he sold them in auction.
Okay.
But he used to be a car salesman before that, and he told me that, you know what, no matter what the car was, I already knew I was going to sell it because there's an ass for every seat. Like whatever car it is, somebody's gonna want it. You might think it's the ugliest car in the world, but
Right.
somebody's like, you know what, that's perfect for me. So
Definitely.
same thing with any business, even podcast, whatever business it is.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's willing to listen. Somebody wants to listen, and your voice is going to be heard by somebody, and it's going to impact them. So,
That is so true. And it it's a really emotional experience for me when I'll get a text from somebody and they're going, I it's a little personal, so I didn't want to leave it as a comment, but what you talked about this week really helped me because I'm dealing with X, Y, and
mm-hmm,
Z. And that's what keeps me going.
mm-hmm,
It's not just, oh, I'm talking about my own personal. So, yeah, it's to an extent, it's like a video journal
mm-hmm,
with a little splash of entertainment. But if I can help somebody, in any way, it does, it makes me happy.
And it's a beautiful thing when you don't even expect, like something you didn't think you said that had an impact on somebody, and they come back
Right.
and they're like, oh, that's what you took from that. Okay, I thought I was on a whole nother thing, but you took that and it worked for you. Perfect.
It did. And I like that. It's like, okay, I actually have an impact.
Yeah, you do.
And
You do.
me.
You have an impact. I'm telling you now, you have an impact. You have people that follow and love you. So
And I'm like, oh, wow. I was like, people like me. For me.
I'm likable.
I'm likable. Like, oh my gosh. But it's crazy because like we met organically,
Yes.
because we run in the same circle. And I'll have people go, "Oh my gosh, you're." I'm like, "Yeah, you know me." It's so surreal when people are walking up to me. I'm like, "You know me."
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to. I tell people I don't want to be famous. I just want to be happy
Yeah.
where I'm at
Mm-hmm.
and drink wine.
Exactly. The wine's got to come.
The wine has to come.
Yes.
So yeah, I like that. Can you share a significant success story or milestone that stands out to you?
Um, I guess it was a milestone for me. I don't, I still to this day believe it is a big thing. And that's my relationship with 1010.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
First black-owned wine bar, as far as I know, in LA, but definitely in Inglewood,
No,
in LA, right?
in LA.
That's what I thought. And the sisters are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to work with them as closely as I do, I find that is something that gives me a pride about what I'm doing.
Oh, for sure.
Lets me feel like, yeah, it makes me feel like I've made it. I still got a long journey, a long, long journey. I'm still really young in this game, but it does make me feel like, you know what, as far as California is concerned, I feel like that's one of the pinnacle, one of the top moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say that all the time. I'm like, you know what? They love us there.
It's always the first. Where can we find your wine? Oh, 1010. Like, yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
And we're there so much that Craig goes, you guys are here so much. You need to come up with like a fun name for your group.
Hmm.
And I went, huh. I said, let me
I'm
brainstorm.
surprised we don't have a name yet.
We don't have a name. We do need to come up with a name. We're a dope ass group though.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, but it's so funny. I saw this thing where they were talking about group chats, and they said it's always that one person in the group chat that never says anything but a pop up every once in a while and say
Hmm.
something, then they disappear.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, men a few words, but they're all impactful. I promise. Everything I say.
But if I text you on the side, you're like, hey,
Hey,
what's going
right
on?
away, right away. Yeah.
So funny. No, the group chat is hilarious.
Hmm.
And we all, sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, y'all are going too
Yeah,
fast
sometimes
for
it goes
me.
too fast, and it's like, okay, do I? And now that I'm about to have more time in my life, so I'll be able to respond more and all that. But at the time, it was like I can't really keep up with everything. You guys, you sent one text. By the time I get to it, there's 15, and then I'm like, okay, well,
But all you do is, if you respond, it picks the conversation right back up. I've
yeah,
noticed that about us.
yeah,
We're a chatty group.
yeah. We're a talkative bunch.
I love it. Are there any innovative practices that you've adopted?
Ooh,
Yes, I'm going to ask the questions that no one else is going to
ooh,
think of.
ooh. Are there any innovative practices? I think I'm still searching for the most innovative practices. I think with with the advancements that we're having right now in our country,
Right.
I'm looking for ways to use that to my benefit because there are a lot of things that may not be thought of as something that could benefit a wine company. That I'm really working hard to figure out how to make it best work for me. So
That's good.
I haven't nailed it down yet to say, but yeah, I'm trying to use what's coming out as an innovation to
That's
help
good.
further wine.
And you got a great support system
Oh yeah.
behind you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like if that's an innovation, you guys have been amazing. Like the support system that I have, everyone in the group has been amazing.
I feel like this, what good are you if you're not willing to help?
Hmm.
Like why am I calling myself your friend or your wine family if
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say, oh, let me help. Like I share everything. If you post it, I'm sharing
Hmm.
it because it's one of those where one, I'm proud
Hmm.
of the people I have in my life. And two, that's the only way we're going to get people to notice it. It may not be the same people all the time. Like I get people, I'm like, I've never seen you before. But the more you share, the more it gets us out there, it gets
Yeah.
us engaged. So I love it. I'm going to keep supporting. But no, this, oh my gosh, this wine is so good.
You ready for your second pour? Look like your glass is almost empty. I told you we're gonna try to get you there. That
No,
16.2 gonna kick in.
that 16.2 is something else. Oh,
Yeah.
we gotta work on some stuff because
I tell people because they, with wine they put the alcohol percentage on the back. I tell people all the time that grandma's on the front, but it's still a party in the back. So
oh, it's a party in this bottle for
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, this party gonna get you somewhere.
That's so funny. I love it. How do you see the future of the wine industry evolving?
More inclusive. I think we are moving at a rapid pace as far as including all different ethnicities into wine. Before, whenever I was younger, I thought of it as something that wasn't really attainable or something that wasn't where I would fit in. I didn't feel
Right.
represented in that market. At this point, I'm starting to see that representation is coming, representation is here, and it's not going anywhere. I think we're going to see a lot of new ideas with wine, a lot of new
Right.
development with wine, a lot of new twist with wine,
Definitely.
and it's going to get fun.
It
So
is.
it's going to be very interesting. So,
It is. Now, I didn't even have this on here, but
uh-oh.
we have so many black celebrities
Mm-hmm.
in wine.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Earl Stevens has a sweet red that I
I've
really
not
like.
had the sweet red.
The sweet red is one that I think I was telling you about that reminds me of the wine that I had as a kid. Um, John Legends. There's a football player whose bottle looks amazing, and I want to say it's Ocho Cinco.
I haven't had his yet.
Yeah, his bottle is like it just looks. I haven't had his wine, but the bottle, from what I remember seeing, it was amazing. So
Yeah.
it looks like it looks like I want to have it.
Right.
But those are definitely at the top of my list, just because
Really?
I am fond of what the McBride sisters have done because they really kind of opened up a door that hadn't really been broken down like that. But they're not celebrities, are they? They're not considered
At
celebrities
this
yet.
point,
They are now at this point.
right.
Okay, we'll add them to the celebrity list. Perfect. Um, yeah, those are the ones I would go with: the Earl
Okay.
Stevens and John Legend.
So I told this story last week and everyone kind of laughed because E40, I'm sorry if you're watching this. If you ever come across me and you see this, I'm sorry.
We're gonna tag them. We're gonna get an E40 response.
I would lose it. I was delightfully surprised. I did his Prosecco
Hmm.
for my Valentine episode. And when I say I went,
Okay.
E40,
Yeah.
because I've had some other celebrity wines and they were trash.
Hmm.
And I went, but I try them because, of course, they're celebrities. You
Yeah,
want to
you want to
taste
try it.
it.
You want to have it. Yeah.
You want to see what the fuss is about.
Hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised with his.
I gotta try it. I don't think I've tried it.
Oh, so good. They have it at
I
1010.
was about to say, do they have it at 1010? If they do, then I'll try it next time I'm there. For
Amazing.
sure. For sure.
Amazing. I said, okay. All right.
And while we got E40's name brought up, I don't know. Like I've been looking for it, and I don't know why I haven't seen it. If he hasn't done it, he should do it.
Uh-huh.
He should really have 40 water. Like
I'm
he
just
should
saying.
have like 40 water. It should just be a thing.
Literally,
Like,
that should just be a thing.
it
It
should
should have
just
been
be a
the first thing
It should have
before
been.
wine.
It should have been, yeah, 40 water. I mean, it makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Because I said, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Mhm.
And you could see it in my face. Everybody's like, no, I believe you that it was good because
It's definitely showing on your face. Like
I said, oh,
you ain't hiding nothing.
no. I'm like, I'm upset that I really enjoyed it this much because, yeah, it's
Hmm.
I've had some trash celebrity wines, and I'm not going to say it on here because, like I say, I leave it up to you guys
I
to
was
make
just
that
about to ask too.
last
but-
determination. I'm not one to destroy, especially Black people. I'm not one to tear us down. However, I was extremely happy that I like that one.
Me too. Because E40's wines are good. Like,
Oh my gosh. I'm like, why?
and I don't know if a lot of people actually know that he makes wine. And then, he's going under Earl Stevens. Most people probably know about
Exactly. Because
E40.
somebody
So,
said,
like,
well, who the hell is ES? I was like, Earl Stevens.
yeah,
I was like, it's E40. They're like, what?
yeah. You probably got to be from California to know that. I don't know.
Or
Like,
or into rap.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Only, yeah. Let me shut up.
Ugh. Come on now. I'm trying to get you there.
I'm still driving. I'm gonna have to eat.
Mm.
I didn't eat dinner.
Well, let me
I
stop on
didn't
my
eat
own.
today. Oh, I should have.
I didn't eat either, but maybe I got a designated driver. We'll see what happens.
Or maybe we gonna have to Uber eat something. Because let me tell you. No, it's crazy. So what strategies have you found most effective with promoting your wine?
Mm. Promoting my wine. I find using businesses that have already been established has been the easiest way because people go there, and whenever they look at the menu, if your wine's on their menu, then they're like, "Hey, the wine is there."
Yeah.
Social media definitely is a good promoter, but definitely the festivals have been one of the biggest because it brings hundreds of eyes to you, and
Oh, for
you're
sure.
talking all day. By the time the day is done, my voice is gone. Um, but the festivals have been some of the most fun. I've met some of the most interesting people at festivals. Like, even, I mean, Kiana was one of them. So, I mean, I met the most interesting people at festivals. Some interesting people, too.
It's some very interesting people at these
Especially after
festivals.
they've been going around sipping everyone's wine.
But I think people go to festivals to get drunk.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
It's
to
about the
meet the winemaker.
tasting and meet the
Oh
winemaker
no,
and all
it's
that.
not
Yeah.
about the experience of the wine.
Hmm.
They're there to get drunk.
It's an opportunity to go out and mingle and drink and be a little tipsy by the
Oh
time
my
you get
gosh.
done.
Yes. My first wine festival was LA Wine Fest.
Hmm.
And the first year I loved the experience. I can't tell you a lie about that. I had a ball.
Hmm.
And then I got brought back the next day to do media.
Hmm.
And I went, oh crap. Okay, I got to step things up. And I went. And Ja Rule was debuting his wine.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to figure this out. And she's like, no, just follow him all day. I was like, okay. That's all I'm doing is following him. And I kind of got nervous.
Hmm.
And then when we got towards the end of the day, and I go, if I don't speak up now, I'm not going to get what I said, do you mind doing a quick pour for me? And he goes, yeah, I got you. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what he was there for, right? So,
but some of these people, they're like, oh, no, I don't have time. They get a little, and I'm thinking, okay,
I
you're
guess.
Ja Rule. You're not going to do this for me. And he did it.
Yeah, I guess you can. I don't know how many people you've met living out here in LA, but there are definitely some people that I can see would be a challenge to try to deal with. So,
Well, my favorite person I met, and I've name dropped her a couple times
you
on
seem
here.
excited.
I am, because we best friends in fake life, but Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Oh my gosh, when she did her event at 1010,
Uh huh.
and we were
I
out.
haven't had hers yet
How the hell haven't you had Via Rae yet?
because whenever I go to 1010, I always get those. Stevens are my own, or the AJ, or the generational wealths, and hardly.
Okay,
ever do
you
I-
slipping.
I-
You need to get him on Via Rae ASAP because no, Issa did her thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a bubbles girl. I like red wine. That was people laugh when they go, "Oh, what's your favorite?" I'm like, I love bubbles, and I love red wine.
Hmm.
I did not like white wine until
hers.
this year.
Hmm.
But I love a good prosecco, a good champagne. And I'm not like talking about like the normal champagnes and proseccos.
Mhm.
I venture into them and I taste them and I'm like, "Oh, this is good. This is okay. This is just a label that everybody's being popular
yeah.
about. I don't care about that stuff." But hers is really good.
And next time we're at 1010 and you see me there, be like, no,
We
make the list.
ordering a bottle.
Make the list because it was another one you just told me, and I've already forgotten who it was that you told me I
It
should
was
have.
E40s.
No, oh, it was E40s. You're right. And then, okay.
Okay, so
Cellars.
we're ordering bottles the next time we go.
Apparently.
Okay, so since I am the designated, I'm the one that makes the reservation for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm the one that has to go. Okay, we're going to 1010 tonight for
Yeah.
happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to have a lot of free time, so.
It's crazy because I am the one that'll go, hey, did you get your reservation for this? Did you do this yet?
And I'm so last minute. I think that we went to an event there, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't
Their
make my
anniversary.
reservation. Yeah,
And I'm like, hey, did you get your reservation yet? Did you do? I said, don't worry, just come in. I said, you're Robert Longmire.
and I try to go off that, and so many times that don't work that way. Like, but I'm Robert Longmire, officer. Like, why am I getting a ticket? It doesn't.
Don't worry. So me and security,
Hmm.
we like this now.
Hmm.
Don't worry.
Hmm.
He ain't gonna turn you away.
Okay. Okay.
We had a conversation. The last time I was there, I had gone on a Sunday. It was my
Hmm.
first time having brunch there. And I looked at him, I said, are you gonna stop doing this to me? And he said, we cool. I said, okay. No,
But no.
but no, we will definitely have to do another this
Yeah.
I was like, why would they do that? They got a private event this Thursday.
Well,
They must be.
exactly.
I ain't mad at them.
Exactly. I would definitely.
I would be like,
host a
you know
private, yeah,
what?
private
Forget
event if they
happy
paying
hour.
me
Let's
enough
go
for it
ahead
to,
and
yeah.
do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. How do you build with your customers and build a loyal community around your brand?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Like being
Oh
able,
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, being able to be consistent, being able to make sure that my product is always going to be something that is never given and it's
Mm-hmm.
spoiled and is also shipped quickly. Just that consistency. Also, just I feel like I'm a pretty friendly person.
You are.
So just that friendliness and that good customer service, allowing them to know, hey, if you have any questions, I'm available. At this point, the brand isn't big enough to where I can't be available, so I'm accessible.
We're
I'm
not talking
very
like that.
accessible. I'm
The
very.
brand is big enough.
Oh, the brand is big enough, but I'm very accessible at this moment.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I think that's the part that people like too
Mhm.
with what we're doing is
Mhm.
being accessible. Knowing, oh, you're going to respond to me? Oh my gosh. It cracks me up when people go, oh, I didn't think you were going to respond. And you're like, why wouldn't I?
Mhm.
Every week when I do this, I'm like, yeah, you can message
Talk directly
me.
to me, yeah. And then and what I found to be an interesting talking point is most people are like, "Oh, you're the actual winemaker?" Like, "Oh, it's actually you."
It's you.
Yeah.
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 You guys, you heard that. It's him. He is actually
I
talking to
I'm
you.
not gonna say yeah, I'm the winemaker. I don't do it all by myself because it's I don't have my own warehouse facility, so it is done in Paso Robles, and I work with some people out there. But it started with me.
And
So
I got to ask, what do I got to do to get a tour?
of Paso Robles,
Oh,
of my
yeah. Yeah.
plan a trip. You're the planner.
Really?
Yeah,
You let me do
yeah. You know who you are.
that? You know, I'm still working on
Hmm.
accepting that
Yeah.
because that is, I'm telling you, I still get like, me?
Wait till you hear the day somebody tells you, you know what, you're one of the pioneers. You're one of the first people who decided to step into this and not be, um, you know, what's the word? What's the word?
Scared?
Not be scared, but
Right.
you're not the typical person that would be doing it. Normally when we look at the demographics of wine, especially as we were growing up, it didn't look like us. So I
Right.
think just being one of the earlier people that's starting in this, you're definitely knocking down doors for those that will come later.
Yeah. I hear that all the time. They're like, you're in your own lane.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. Because trying to ride in y'all lane,
Hmm.
I got road rage. I just got to do me.
No, not the would you call yourself a gentle thug or something like
I
that? An
am. I'm a emotional
emotional
thug.
thug
Yes.
with the road rage. Okay.
It is what it is.
Hmm.
I'm going to cry, but I'm going to be okay.
Hmm.
It's okay. Hmm. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, whether in wine or in any industry?
Just in any industry, don't be afraid to start. A lot of times we wait for the perfect time to start our journey in business, and that's usually the biggest mistake.
Right.
We may not have everything together. We may not understand everything that's in our market. We have our things that we do well. Rely on those things to do well. Don't be afraid to outsource the things you don't do well or the
Hmm.
things you don't have time to do. In business, what ends up happening is you'll run into obstacles that will challenge you and make you feel like you can't do it, but then you'll pull through it. And then once
Right.
you do pull through it, you'll be like, you know what, I've learned from that. Even the mistakes you have, you will learn from them and you'll grow. But mostly it's just do it. If you say you want to do it, do it. Because if you don't do it, then you're just talking. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure a lot of it probably happens. I don't know how it was with your dating world and all that, but it probably happens a lot with women where there's a guy who has all this potential,
Uh-huh.
but none of the promise because he isn't actually putting any effort going towards whatever it is he's trying to do.
Oh,
So,
we gonna turn that into a reel,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah, turn that potential into promise and move forward.
Seriously. How do you stay inspired and passionate about your work?
Sometimes it comes down to the support group. Sometimes it really does come down to the friends and family that I have that are willing to say, you know what, you started this, you wanted to do this is what you want to be. Um, Staying inspired, it usually comes easily once I sip another sip of wine. The inspiration comes back instantly. I've always been one of those people who have always, from my very first main job, looked at it and said, you know what, they're paying me pennies of what they could be paying me.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me has always been, I would rather work for myself than work for somebody who's not going to pay me what I'm worth.
Exactly.
So that's another motivation is saying, you know what, I can build something that will allow other people to enjoy themselves, the community, their family and friends. Employ people that will also be able to take care of their family and friends, which is
Right.
a great thing about any business owner. If you're able to help someone else support
Mm-hmm.
their family and their friends, then you're an amazing person just with that in itself.
Oh,
So,
I agree
but if you
wholeheartedly.
decide not to pay your folks that much money, I'm talking bad about you. You know, pay the good amount, pay the right amount.
Tell me about it. If you could share one lesson you've learned along the way, what would it be?
Um, to not doubt my abilities. Like,
Oof.
don't doubt your abilities. Every person has something amazing about them, and if it's something that you want to do and you're passionate about, somebody's willing to receive it. Somebody's willing to receive it. Somebody's willing to pay for it. More
Mm-hmm.
important, sometimes more importantly, um, but it also allows you to express yourself, and you can get yourself out of a funk, out of a depression, because now you're expressing yourself, doing something that you want to do, and you're seeing other people enjoy your
Yeah.
product.
No, I love it. That's true. Because I tell people all the time, this is what keeps me going.
Hmm.
And before I had this, I was stuck in the when people would go, "Well, tell me about you," and I go, "Oh, I'm a mom." And they go, "No, tell me about you."
Hmm.
And I go, now I can tell them, "Look, let me tell you about
Hmm.
me." And they go, "Oh, because I'm learning me
Hmm.
and the things that make me happy and the things that make me a whole me." So no,
That's probably the thing that I would say most is if you're doing something that makes you happy, it's been said 1,000 times, then it doesn't feel like work.
mm-mm,
And if it's making you happy, as long as it's not criminal or hurting somebody, you probably should be doing it, and it will probably make you money. You learn how to do it right.
let me tell you, when wine starts paying my bills,
You know what I'm saying? Like as it takes over and as it grows, and it's like, yo, this is I'm getting paid to travel and talk and drink wine. Like that's
about a good one.
about yeah. I don't even have to try to sell it. Like it's not. Look, just have a sip. Just.
Let me tell you, we need to go. So, like I said, I went to Manhattan Beach Wine Company
Hmm.
and there weren't any tables available.
Hmm.
And I started clearing tables because the mom in me kicked in. And she goes, "I just want to thank you, for not getting it out of." People were really pissed off with her. They're like cursing this lady out.
Hmm.
She's trying to do the best she can on a Saturday,
Hmm.
extremely busy. People are just here.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't got time to be cursing this lady out. She's doing the best she can. I'm clearing off a table
Hmm.
because I want to sit down and enjoy my wine.
Hmm.
I get there, I'm doing my thing, and she comes back. She gives me 4 passes to drink for free.
Hmm.
We need to get you, Kiana, and Anthony in there ASAP.
Hmm. We can't forget about the sisters too.
Oh, the sisters are there.
Oh, they already there? Oh,
They're
oh,
already
shoot.
there. So that's why I say
Oh
we
yeah, we
need to
coming.
go.
We coming.
I'm
You're
a,
talking about Anthony Bowers?
Yes.
yes.
He says, hi.
Hello, Mr.
Hey,
Anthony, man. I hope you're
Anthony.
doing well. Good sir, good sir.
We love him. He
Ajay Wines. Ajay Wines also has a great. He has an amazing port.
he does.
That's
Oh
amazing,
my
and his red
gosh.
Zinfandel. That it's like a blueberry pie without the sugar. Mm.
I had the Zinfandel
Uh huh.
at 10:10.
Mm-hmm.
And the look I gave him, because I said, oh, he said, well, what? I said, I'm going to get the Zinfandel.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me the wine, did my swirl, did my sniff, and then I sipped it. And the way I looked at him, and he goes, mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It was one of those where I'm like, oh, yes, sir, pop your collar because you did that.
It had me questioning which wine was my favorite wine. When I sipped it, I was like, wait a minute, do I have a new favorite? Um, and then it's very good.
It's
That
so
is
good.
that is definitely a top
But
notch
we've
wine.
got a dope ass group.
Amazing group, amazing group. I
We,
mean, I wish I could talk. It's really amazing because I want to talk about their wines either more as much as I talk about my own because
I find myself, and that's why I say, we'll talk more
okay,
after.
okay.
Because I can't give out all my secrets. But no, I'm like, I don't, it just happens so organically
Mm-hmm.
with every connection I've made
Mm-hmm.
in our industry.
And that's really been the blessing is when I first, because my thought of what the industry was it didn't include me. It didn't include people of my skin
Right.
tone and everything like that. But then when I met everyone and it's just been such a welcoming community, it's been like, man, this is way better, way different than what I initially expected.
Right.
So walls I thought I would run into, I haven't run into.
At all.
Yep.
No, this is absolutely amazing. So, how do you envision the role of wine and culture in society to evolve over the next decade?
Hmm. The next 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And that's such a long time, but it's so short at the same time.
You know what I think? I think that wine will be more acceptable, I guess would be the word for men. I think
Mm-hmm.
as of right now, a lot of men would rather have whiskey, rather have a vodka or something like that that makes them seem tough,
Right.
something that makes them seem hard and seem like a man. But I think wine is evolving so much more, and it's like what? It's okay to drink wine. Wine is good. Wine is something that it doesn't make you, it doesn't emasculate you.
Right.
It definitely allows you to meet new people. I had an this is a side story, but it's kind of hilarious. When I did my Meet the Maker at 1010, I invited some of my family members. One of my uncles came with me, and if he said, had I known that coming to wine events would have led to so many beautiful women, I would have never went to the club. It would have just solely been going to the wine events because that's where you find a lot of women who are there and they're pretty
Just
women
happy
and
in
attractive
our
and
element,
yeah.
just being feminine.
hmm And if you can drink wine and talk wine with people, it definitely probably if you if you're a man, that might be where you want to
Oh my gosh.
be.
I just talked about that last week
Uh-huh.
on my anniversary podcast. I
hmm
said, I want to bring more men into drinking wine
hmm
because there are so many male winemakers right now
hmm
that are just killing the game. Look at D Wade.
Oh yeah,
If for me to sit down with Dwayne Wade, I
would be a
can
dream. Tag him, Wade. Come on, man.
D
Come on
Wade.
down.
Yes.
Next time you're in LA, man, slide by.
I did a podcast with Nelson Orbiter,
Uh-huh.
who has a podcast of his own. And he asked me my top three celebrities that I would love to interview. And it's so crazy because I started off with my number one. Anybody that knows me knows Beyonce is just the be all that ends all. Like,
hmm
I will sign that NDA in a heartbeat. I ain't even gonna read it. Yep. Y'all will know I know Beyonce, but I ain't getting ready to share none of the secrets
hmm
on nothing. Beyonce was my number one. And then I said Dwayne Wade. And it was one of those where my daughter played basketball
hmm
from the time she was 3 years old through high school. And because she emulated everything that she did based off of Dwayne Wade,
hmm
like literally, like when he came out with those thigh pads and he was wearing all the pads and
All of a sudden, she wants
now
it
all of a
too.
sudden she wants that too. Let me tell you, it got expensive real fast. So Dwayne Wade was her guy, and to see him venture into wine
hmm
was like, oh,
And apparently, he's had that wine passion like all his life. From what I remember when they first showed like a little blurb or documentary or whatever it was I
mm-hmm,
saw, he's been into wine for a long
a
time.
long time, and he's certified.
Yes.
Him and Carmelo.
Yeah, I didn't know Carmelo had one. Did I know?
Yes.
I think I did know. I think I did know
Carmelo
Carmelo
is
had one.
certified too.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to sit down with them
Mhm.
and not just talk basketball,
Mhm.
but wine as well. Oh my gosh. And then when my last one person, of course, Issa Rae,
Mhm.
because of
Cause that's your bestie, so you know.
she my bestie. Issa, I love you. But the way that, like I tell people all the time, yeah, I got my start on YouTube,
Mhm.
but just seeing her do it in her dorm, like I've been a fan of hers since Awkward Black Girl,
Mhm.
and then seeing Insecure come out, and it's like, oh, Insecure just took over,
Mhm. It did.
and
It was very popular.
I had watch parties with friends. We would be sitting here like, oh my gosh, I'm like in a group chats, like I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter because I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to see what y'all negative people got to say. But we be in our group chats like, oh my gosh. Issa was such a pivotal movement
Mhm.
in wine because most people, they want to have the celebration wine. Most people can't afford champagne. Champagne is expensive as
Yes.
hell.
Yeah.
When I started learning more about the winemaking process and understanding that adding bubbles
Mhm.
costs more,
Mhm.
and for her to come out with an affordable bubble
Mhm.
that was absolutely amazing. She cares about the city of Inglewood, the city of LA, like South Central, just
Mhm.
LA in general, and being black.
Mhm.
I'm like, to sit down with her and then to meet her and her be as down to earth
Mhm.
as she seems. I'm like,
I gotta ask, were you starstruck when you saw her, or were you like giddy, or were you able to compose
all
yourself?
of the emotions. Because we went thinking, we're not getting in because it's sold out like that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going, man. And my fiance was like, you should still go. He was like, maybe you should shoot a video outside, basically
Mhm.
saying, oh, I couldn't get in, but I'm still here. So I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. I went to Target, bought the wine.
Mhm.
I picked up Kiana. And we can't even put the video because we ended up getting in. But we got in, and I'm like, we're walking towards where we're like, well, let's go get a drink. And as we're approaching the big table,
Mhm.
I'm like, girl, she's sitting right there. I said, don't look, don't look, don't look. I'm like squeezing her hand because it's so many people in there. We're like
Mhm.
trying to make sure she looks, I was like, don't look. And then I see another sommelier. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Devin. He's worked with Grand Cru,
I feel like the name Devin is definitely
Devin
something.
Reed.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. But he's worked with Selections on Grand Cru, which I don't think they gave that show enough time
Mhm.
to really get. I think it's funny.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Seinfeld for black people.
Yeah. I gotta see it. I used to
And
love Seinfeld.
oh my gosh. And I'm like, she's right there. And we go, I talk to him, and then I said, it's now or never. She goes, what do you mean? I said, if I don't go talk to her now, I'm never going to talk to her.
Mhm.
And I walk over to her because she was getting up to leave. And I said, I don't mean to be a fan, but I'm a fan. And I'm wearing my branded merch.
Mhm.
And she fixed my hoodie. And I'm like spilling, like, I am a fan. I love what you've done for, just us as black people.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, oh my gosh. And the way she responded wasn't like arrogant, like, oh, thank you. It
Mhm.
was one of those, it was genuine. She's like, oh my gosh. And I'm going, she's a real person. It's not like one of those fake things where you see people go, oh.
Yeah.
No, she was genuine.
Yeah.
She fixed my hoodie, asked me if I wanted a picture. I'm like, yes,
For sure.
please. And that was one of those moments that I'm going, okay.
I'm laughing that Issa done brought the little girl out of you. She done brought a
She
whole little girl
did.
out of you.
And I'm going, if I did this with Issa, what am I going to do when I do meet Beyonce? Poor Beyonce going to be like, honey, it's
Girl,
okay.
come on.
Right. She's going to be like, girl, bring it here. We are just two regular people.
Yeah.
But I already know. I love me some Beyonce.
The day's coming. The day's coming.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm manifesting it. And it's going to happen. But just those three people, because of the background of it,
Mm.
are why I would love to just sit and pick their brain and be like, tell me more. Tell me more. Because, but I just like people.
Yeah.
I like to pick their brain. Well, why did you do this? Well, what made you pick this? Like this right here, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk after this because I'm going to help you with the branding part that we just talked about. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
No, this is amazing.
Hmm. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm very it's still amazing to me, and I'm still proud of what the response has been. Like I have had one. I probably shouldn't say this, but I had one response where she like a woman took a sip. She was like, ugh.
Ugh.
But she had like just brushed her teeth. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
you got
yeah.
toothpaste. Girl,
No.
go on somewhere with that.
You cannot.
But other than that, it's always, even when they say I don't drink dry wines, because it's technically a dry wine, but it doesn't hit you as a
Mhm.
dry wine. It's more you're gonna get the fruit. You're gonna get
You
some of
are.
those notes in there, and you're gonna be like, okay, it's not dry like that. The tannins are not real strong, so it's like a smooth, easy drink, leaves you
I
ready for
agree
your
with you
next
on
sip.
that.
So,
Oh no, I love this.
hmm
I'm like, oh,
hmm
I got my fall wine.
I got my what stew and steak and my pizza wine. Oh my God, with a pizza with this, it's amazing. You got that tomato sauce, that cheese, depending on what protein you choose.
What's
It's just
so
all goes together.
crazy is I made a spaghetti sauce not too long ago,
Hmm.
and I'm sitting here going, I might have to defrost that
Hmm. There you go.
and go ahead
There you
and
go.
let me tell you and take my picture with my wine.
And if you just want to do it as a snack, get you some corn chips with that spaghetti sauce, and just have it as a snack. Dip it in there.
I gotta
There you
take
go.
you to Manhattan Beach Wine Company to taste this pork cheese that I'm tasting with this wine. This is absolutely amazing.
Hmm.
And I'm a wine girl.
Hmm.
My fiance, it was so funny because people go, oh, when was your first date? And we could easily say our first outing would be the first date, but I consider our first date.
Women have a different first
Oh,
date than
we
a
do.
man
We,
have.
you
Yeah.
know, women have a different
Their own
recollection of
first
things.
date.
Our first date was literally in my apartment, and I
Hmm.
invited him. I was like, oh, want to come have some wine?
Hmm.
And we finished the whole bottle of wine. Like, we just sat there drinking wine. Like, people go, that's all you did was talk. I'm like, yeah.
That's a good date.
We finished the whole bottle of wine and talked. I looked up, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went,
That's a good date. Communication is key, and if you can sit there and talk to somebody for 2 hours or till 2 in the morning and not get tired of them, that's
and I
fantastic.
think he came at like 8 o'clock,
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
and all we did was talk. That's all we did was talk.
Hmm.
Amazing. I'm like, I'm sitting here getting off.
Look, aren't you glad that that's your first date and your perspective? His perspective is probably the
His,
first time he
yeah,
took you
you
out
know,
and fit the bill and paid
because
all
y'all
his
don't
money and
remember
all
certain
that.
details.
Yeah, he probably remember how much he paid for the first date that he said was a date.
But no, I tell people all the time, like with me, I'm into little details. I
Hmm.
love the smaller things. Small things are big things to me.
Hmm.
And like even my friends know, like just remembering certain, like, oh, you remembered that? Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
It really, it's an emotional thing for me because I'm a Pisces through and through.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, the little details when people remember, it's like, oh, you said you like, I'm like, you remember
I'm an
that?
emotional thug.
Yeah, emotional thug. I'm gonna cry, but I'm gonna be okay.
You're gonna hear emotional thug come out of my mouth a lot now. Like that's
That's
gonna
about to be our
that's gonna be
hashtag.
yep. I'm actually changing your name on my phone to
To
emotional
emotional
thug.
thug. I am, but I like my family laughs at me. They'll go see movies and they'll look at me. They'll be like, "Oh, we want you to see this," and they'll show me the preview, and I'm sitting there like, "Don't do it, damn it!" We were watching the Super Bowl, and I can't remember
Oh
which
Lord,
commercial it was.
I don't know. I suppose people cry because of the Super Bowl, but it's probably because they lost a bunch of money or something, or their team
No,
lost. But
I
I don't
cry
know.
over commercials. If
Lord,
it's one of those touching commercials,
Lord.
yes. They just recently put a back to school commercial on Facebook,
Hmm.
and it starts off all happy. The music is upbeat, and the kids are like, "Yeah, my mom bought me this because it's supposed to be this." And another kid's like, "Yeah, my mom bought me this hoodie because it's the most popular hoodie." And then as it goes on, it gets real somber, and you hear these gunshots in the background.
Hmm.
And it's basically a PSA for protecting yourself. And the more the commercial goes on, the more I'm getting emotional. And the last scene on it was a girl in the toilet telling her mom through a text. She said, "I just want to say that I love you." And then you hear the steps of the shooter walk. And I'm going,
You look like you about to cry right now. Like I can see the emotion in your face right now. It's hitting you.
I'm emotional
An
thug.
emotional thug.
But that had me teared up.
Hmm.
And I'm going, what the hell?
Yeah, that's something because if when you have kids and they go to school, you can relate to that. So I can see something being
Every
emotional
school
about that.
shooting gets me.
Yeah, definitely. I recently had a friend who had a scare out in Arizona. It was just a kid who brought a gun to school, and she was text, and the way her text read was, "Hey, we're shutting down the school for a gun thing." She said said she basically flew,
Oh,
no
yeah.
red lights, nothing like that. She
You
got
ain't
to the
thinking about nothing
school,
but getting to your kid.
and then found out that it was. And then she talks to her daughter. Her daughter didn't even know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
They were wondering like, why are all these parents here, and why are these parents all crying and all worried?
Right.
Um, I think Tucson, y'all need to do better with the information you give out to the parents, because the parents were worried and the students didn't even know.
Had no, but
No
I
idea.
think that's the best way.
Yeah.
If you keep the kids okay, they're fine.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep the kids okay, but it'd also be nice to not have parents showing up ready to get busy.
Oh, because trust
Versus
me.
when the situation was already handled, they could have said, you know what, he's been apprehended, yada yada yada. If you want to pick up your kid, fine and dandy. But the way they left it was like
Oh, it's going down.
it's an ongoing thing. So yeah.
Yeah, because Uvalde had me like,
Hmm.
couldn't be my kid.
And Uvalde, I've passed through there several times. You wouldn't think something like that would happen.
Right.
So
And you text me saying, "Oh, it's a shooter." Fuck these police. I'm
I'm
going to
on
get
my
my
way.
kid.
I'm on my way. What are y'all waiting on? Why are you
Why
guys
are you,
outside trying to figure out a strategy?
what was it, 20, 30 minutes they
Hmm.
stood out there? Are you kidding
Hmm.
me? By the time you over here trying to figure out how you going to get in there for this person, I done got my kid and other kids and we out of here.
We out of here. Hmm.
There's no way. It's so, yeah, no. Whew. It's the adrenaline, the fight or flight.
Yeah, and
But when it come to my kid, I'm going to fight.
I'd probably be one of the people shot by the cops on the way in.
Seriously.
Like,
They'll be like, "Oh, the parent got shot because they were risking." You goddamn right. My headstone gonna say, "Not my kid."
yeah, right.
It's insane, and the way that it's happening so much now. I saw a clip on TikTok. I'm gonna link it. It's
Mhm.
hilarious. But Dave Chappelle said, "What's crazy is we're doing all of these drills,
Hmm.
and the kids that we're doing the drills for are sitting in class
Knowing
knowing the
exactly
whole."
I know exactly where they're gonna be at.
Yeah.
Watch.
He's like, "Yeah, we're telling them exactly how to get the kids that they're trying to
Mhm.
protect." So I laughed hard, and somebody was asking me, they're like, "What?" So then I ended up having like 4 coworkers standing over my desk looking
Mhm.
at the video I was watching, and I'm just like, but he's right.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I'm a run. My my managers know. We had that earthquake. I was out the door. They like, yeah. I'm like, the earth was shaking. I got to get out of here. I'm not staying.
Hmm.
My previous company that I was working at, my desk was literally by the back door.
Hmm.
Don't think I'm going to sit here. I am not. I am out the door. My car is parked right next to the back door. I am gone.
You wasn't wobbling while you were running.
Hell no.
How long have you lived in California and
I
you
don't
still running
care.
from
I'm
earthquakes?
that one we just had, what, a week ago? Hmm.
You supposed to be like, who was it? Who was it? I know it was. I can't remember what he was driving the Cadillac, but he had his drink
Yeah.
and he's whipping the Cadillac. That's how you're supposed to be if you live in California and you experience an earthquake.
I
You're
don't
supposed to
like.
still be able to. You ain't supposed to spill your wine or nothing. It's supposed to just still ride with you
Right.
and like it's nothing.
I'm the same way with thunder. I don't do
I
thunder.
love thunder.
I hate it.
It's one of my favorite things.
I love the sound of rain.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces. Water is just
Yeah, some fire signs, so maybe that's why I like that.
okay. But that water is like, okay. But that thunder had me like, what's happening?
Yeah, I like chase thunder. I used to get in trouble with my grandmother. She used to always tell me, "Don't stare at the lightning; it's gonna hit you." And I'm like, always the kid looking out the window, staring at lightning.
Crazy.
I love it. It's really crazy because I think one of the few things that I'm actually afraid of is natural disasters, like tornadoes. Earthquakes don't bother me, but tornadoes and
Right.
stuff like that. I'm like, man, I'd hate to be stuck in one of those. I don't know what to do.
Right.
But I love watching them. I love looking at them. It's something that I always
You got a little bit of psycho in you.
maybe no.
Right. That's funny. Oh, well, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Longmire44 on Instagram, on Facebook. I don't do X as much, but you can find me as well on TikTok. Yeah, Twitter, X Twitter. Elon's thing.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can find my wine at 1010, The Gathering Spot. Also, Bottle Shock in Bakersfield on 19th Street. Bakersfield folks, y'all my people. You guys need to go down in Bottle Shock and have yourself a glass there. Alta and Studio Liquors and Village Market Liquors and Studio City as well. You would want to go there and grab them.
Okay.
Online is also pretty good, so definitely longmirecellars.com.
And I have that linked in the description, so you can find us there. But I thank you again for joining me.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
I'm
you.
so happy to finally have you on.
It's been a minute. We've been talking back and forth a few
Yes.
times, but like I said, it's just my schedule.
Your schedule has been insane.
Yes.
Our schedules, I feel like we've been on go.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, this one almost got pushed back. We made it happen, though. Made it happen.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys. Oh, I hit the mic. I'm not used to that. If you have not hit the like button, go ahead and do that now. And subscribe, all the things, like, share. Yeah, all of the good things. And I will see you next week with a new bottle of wine. Have a good night.
Drink the rest of this real quick. It's good.
All right.
Yay!
Did I actually say this is what happened? One thing,